Yugito is a character that is very basic, so to speak. And what I mean by basic is not that she doesn't really have anything, it's that she has options, but they're just not as flashy and appealing as you would think. That's not really a problem, but maybe a problem for some who like their characters to be a little flashy and whatnot. However, what she does have is speed and consistent priority, both which are good qualities for a character to have. Let's get into the guide, shall we? Before getting into her combos, let's look at her hit strings in general. As you can see, when Yugito hits, she attacks with claws. These claws actually have priority, which is why when you dash her, it often results in a trade or her beating out your dash. Combine this with speed and you have a character with good, consistent priority, which again is a good trait for a character to have, something I've already stated. However, the downside is that her strings end rather abruptly, allowing more leeway for your opponent to dash in without the claws affecting you and whatnot. So a good way to fix this is that you should only be hitting the air in an attempt to beat out an expected dash. This alone will give you more success with just abusing her priority and catching dashes with it. Looking at her combos on block, the up combo does the most damage, putting the opponent's guard on yellow, and then red with a dash. Her down and neutral combo do not extend past this point, but like the up combo, put the guard on yellow and with a dash on red, so all in all it's pretty good. On hit, the down combo is good for putting your opponent in a knockdown state close to them. Aside from this, on completion you can throw sacks, bombs, and tags. You can also go for a sack setup, which is pretty good as well. The neutral combo on hit provides a strike back if you're using a support with strike back. It's also good to note that the 10th string of the neutral combo can be canceled into the guard break pill, resulting in a way to restart the combo. This isn't an infinite or anything, like I said, just a reset, as you're only limited to 2 guard break pills a game, and the opponent can possibly dodge this by ninja dashing or chakra dashing. They cannot ninja move more specifically out of it since they are airborne. It's still a good setup because you can condition your opponent to mash out ninja dash or chakra dash to escape the reset, but bait it out and punish like this. All in all, it's a pretty solid setup to know that can lead to good damage on your part. And last but certainly not least, we have our up combo, which doesn't lead to anything special other than a standard pop-up that can then be capitalized off of with a chakra dash. Getting into Yugito's air combo, it's really good because she literally appears on the other side of the opponent. This can lead to opponents either missing their dash or connecting awkwardly with it. The last hit also has good priority that often hits the opponent out of their dash when they try to sub and dash you, more often than not. Lastly, you can, at the second string of Yugito's air combo, stop it where it will allow Yugito to fall back down at a set distance. This is good for creating space in situations you may need it. Yugito can also block during this animation as she's falling, and she can even throw projectiles as a way of stuffing out ground dashes, checking an opponent, or simply annoying them. Dashing is also possible here as well. Surprisingly, Yugito is another character who can cancel from an air combo to a ground combo. It's done by dash canceling as soon as she reappears to finish her air combo at this point. You will dash straight to the ground where she can combo or even ultimate as well. This is really good. So if you're using Yugito, make sure to learn this technique, as it's definitely going to give you an edge over your opponent, being able to cancel from an air combo to a ground combo and even an ultimate. So yeah, you should really learn this. And should Yugito's air combo hit kind of wonky like this, she can continue into her third string animation and let the opponent fall, where she can then dash cancel and convert from an air combo into a ground combo. It's situational, but still good to know in case it happens to you. Yugito's grab puts the opponent in a close knockdown situation like her down combo, and also like her down combo, it's possible to go for a sack setup and throw tags and bombs as well. Yugito's Chakra Projectiles are unique in appearance but not property. They simply look different but don't provide any real benefit. In fact, one could argue that they aren't as good simply because not as many are thrown. Yugito's Jutsu is solid for setups and even causes a strike back. You'll definitely want to use it from time to time, as it's not that unsafe and faster than it appears and catches a lot of opponents off guard. Is pretty standard. There's really nothing special about it, honestly, other than the fact that she pulls back, which could allow you to dodge certain combo startups and whatnot, but your opponent could react to that and block, so yeah. And lastly, I wanted to cover Yugito's tilt because her tilt is really, really, really good. And I'm going to explain why. Now, her tilt is really good not only because it gives her space because she leaps back, but the arc in which she does it. Now, if you'll notice, Yugito starts here, then rather quickly jumps to a pretty high point in the air, and then quickly falls back down. Now, this is really good because if your opponent dashes at the early phases of the tilt, they can either miss their air dash completely, can be rather frustrating to deal with, and it's really, really good if you need space or you want to maintain space. You can often use tilt 3 times in a row and set up somewhat of a minefield, making it hard for your opponent to get to you from the ground, which is really good. Furthermore, setting up a minefield like this will just force your opponent to approach in a predictable manner or simply wait out the bombs exploding. So all in all, you can really just control the pace of the match with this tilt, which is why it's really, really good. A lot of people don't really understand that, but that's why this tilt is so good. In addition to the fact that she's constantly creating space, she's controlling the pace of the match due to the fact that you have to approach in a predictable manner. You can't be straightforward, you have to wait it out, things like that. So all in all, this tilt is really, really good, and you should definitely be abusing it if you aren't already abusing it. Don't be afraid to abuse it, no matter what anyone says. It's part of the character. If they can't beat it, they simply can't beat it. So don't be afraid to abuse this tilt if you're in the lead. Yugito's awakening is pretty good simply because it's a giant awakening, but outside of that, you'll definitely face trouble more so than any other giant awakening, simply because using this big awakening, you have to work to get in, and it's somewhat hard to get in. Part of this is because her damage comes largely when she opens you up, and she doesn't really have something high damaging she can abuse in neutral, like, I don't know, like a big hitbox Chidori, or, you know, just some kind of awakening action that's really good that lets her get in, or just something high damaging like that. Ultimately, I would give this awakening a 7 out of 10. It's good, but not as good as you expect from a big awakening. Starting with her combos, the second string can be canceled into her awakening action. Taking it a step further, the third string can be canceled into her awakening actions, or you can hollow step forward for an infinite. This probably cannot be jumped out of either. Speaking of her awakening actions, they do very mediocre damage on guard, chip. It's still pretty good because it allows you to get out of situations where an opponent is mashing you and you have little to no subs left. Think of her awakening actions as escape options. It's also good to note that they can be dash canceled out of at any point in time. Her jutsu is Tell Beast Bomb, which does good guard damage, putting it on red and good chip. For some reason, I can't seem to cancel into her Tell Beast Bomb at the second and third string. I'm going to assume it isn't possible for some odd reason, but if you can somehow manage to get it, please let me know. Her projectiles literally have no stun and do no guard damage. Literally. Well, they do no chip, obviously, but the guard damage is very minimal. It's not as strong as you would think. The damage on hit is very minimal as well. They do come out pretty fast, so you can use them to fend off mashers and space yourself for a counter attack. Her tilt allows her to jump in the air and land with a pool of fire that leads to a close knockdown. This is a good way to get in and avoid mashing opponents, as the initial hit of the tilt can be canceled into an awakening action to make it safe should the opponent sub or guard. What's also nice is that the tilt counts as a true block string on guard, or rather the only thing they can do is dash to attempt to punish you. But the thing is that if they try to dash, they simply get beat out by the fire. So it's pretty much a true block string, and as such, the only way they can punish you is if they sub. And of course, they can wait for it to complete on your guard, but you can go into an awakening action or cancel into an awakening action, making it safe. The tilt cannot be dash canceled out of, unfortunately. And lastly, her guard crush is a pretty quick strike that causes a close knockdown and has pretty good range, and cannot be dash canceled for a combo or anything, unfortunately. It's simply good for the fact that it not only punishes opponents for guarding too much, but leaves the opponent in a state close to you, allowing you to start pressure. That's Yugito, guys. She's definitely a well-rounded character. I like the fact that she can consistently go from an air combo to ground combo no matter what the height is for the most part. And I also like the fact that her tilt, you know, literally just slows down the pace of the match and she controls it ultimately. If you were worried about maining Yugito and not really doing well against the top tier characters in this game, I wouldn't worry about that. Yugito is definitely a character that can hang with the top tiers. Um, Whether or not she'll rise to a top tier, I have no idea. That's just, you know, something we have to wait for the future. I think that she's definitely really good and a really good character to just pick and play with right now. Now, what you're seeing is a picture of Injustice 2, and for the guys that don't know, Injustice 2 comes out on May 16th, Tuesday. I will be uploading Injustice 2 content, namely because Injustice 1 was the first game I decided to play outside of Naruto competitively, and I had a lot of fun with that. Now, I'm just putting this here just to kind of alarm you guys that, hey, or not necessarily alarm you guys, but notify you guys that I'm going to be uploading content, and that when you see a lot of Injustice 2 content come out on Tuesday, don't be alarmed. I'm still doing Naruto. Naruto's here to stay as well. I would just like to do Injustice 2 in addition to Naruto. If you want to support me on that, that would be greatly appreciated. It's not like you'll be jumping into something that you have no idea about. I'll be putting out guides and informational videos regarding that game too to help out new players. So I think it would be a perfect opportunity for some of you to learn the game if you're wanting to actually play Injustice 2 competitively or just be decent at the game. So yeah, that's going to be a fun experience, and I can't wait. So yeah, don't be necessarily alarmed when you see a lot of Injustice 2 content come out. And I definitely plan to keep a nice medium between Injustice 2 content and Storm content. So yeah, Naruto Storm isn't going anywhere. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.